the date. So, he had a sick feeling in his stomach that had nothing to do with indigestion, Cochleomia omnivorax, tree buzz, mudkip, dingo pictures, Edward Cullen, or any otherwise strange and unsightly infections, and everything to do with Makuro. It was something that had been going on for a while, and he wasn't quite sure whether it was in spite of his frequent meetings alone with Makuro or because of them. But that was because he didn't do good with his fancy grammar and such. At one point, he questioned the odds of this happening after his constant arguments that nothing had been going on between him and Makuro. But he shrugged it off. If it became something more than just friends, then so be it, goddammit. Their meetings didn't suddenly become awkward. On such occasion, he walked into a room during a break, aka the time he ran away during his duties so he wouldn't have to do shit. No, it's true. Makuro decided to ask her usual question. How's the patrol? Why do you always ask me that? He asked less than enthusiastically. He was more worn out than asking, are you okay, even after someone gets shot. She looked slightly offended, as if this wasn't normal behavior for him, but she just shrugged. Maybe I wanted to see if he began to enjoy it more as time went on. Well, I enjoy it less every time you ask. How do you like that? Well, that's too bad. I guess you can hate it all you want. Why don't you just leave if it's really that bad? Like I said, I'm not forcing you to stay here. Actually, you really don't have to do anything except die. He decided to go around in her attempt at dark humor and went on, I don't want to leave, actually, and I don't really hate it. Like those guys in Living Color who hated it. Why don't you want to leave then? I don't really hate the patrol either. I could have figured that out, Hiei. You didn't answer my question. We all know how much Makuro hates leaving questions hanging. Hey, you ever consider building a laser? Oh, why would I want to do that? They're useful. If an unfortunate event were to occur, I think we would have enough manpower to take those forces down, if that's what you mean by that. What did you come in here for anyway, Hiei? I have to go to an appointment for, like, cancer. You have... No? Are you... I think you should rest. No, I have hypo... How the fuck am I supposed to pronounce that? Hypo... like... whatever, Luna, that octopus thing. Who the hell do I think I am? And he ran out before it became something more like testicular cancer, or hysterical paroxysm, or anything that would have to do with that general area of the body. He didn't even give her a chance to react, or at least to decode what he just said. Me too. Just when he got a safe distance away, he groaned. Why am I being so spineless? I should just go do it. After she forgets about what I just said. So to kill time, he requested to search for the Holy Grail with the intention of writing a Dan Brown novel about it. He got bored with it about halfway through, so he returned a week later as a man. He came back determined, and he barged right back into Makuro's room. She even turned around when she heard him enter. She just sat at her desk, continuing her writing. And then he had decided he was going to do something so crazy that would make her turn around. He was going to make some jaw-dropping statement, and Makuro here was interrupted. Go away, I'm busy. Makuro waved her left hand at him. You could just hear the balloon popping. Okay. But you always do this to me. Won't you ever listen to me and worship me like you always do? Why do you close your eyes when we make love? That's what he would have said if he were a clingy, angsty teenager who intended to suck the life out of his lover. Since he didn't fit into any of the above, he became a journalist. What are you doing? And we all know how much we hate journalists. Stuff. What kind of stuff? Dunno, whatever you want it to be. It could be some commie Nazi fascist freedom-hating hippie stuff. It doesn't concern you. Then he became a great philosopher. Why? The crow turned around and gave him a librarian stare. And then she turned back around, shaking her head. Don't you have something better to do? I really doubt what you're doing is that damn important. It is. Go away. If it is, let me see it. It might be confidential. Hypothetically. I'm not saying whether it is or not. If you have to do that, obviously it isn't. If for that damn confidential, you wouldn't have to add that might to it. It just is. So obviously what you're doing is just make it up in hopes that I just leave and I won't do that. Yeah? Get out. I have something I wanted to ask you. You can wait. Not really. Kuro turned around. Yeah? What? Now he was starting to get frustrated. Take 2 steps to your right. No, a half step to your left now. Good. Picture perfect. Now then. She reached over, pulled the lever, and watched as he had dropped down a trapdoor. She turned back around and went along her merry way. I give him 2 hours. In exactly 2 hours' time, he returned covered in slime. Without turning around, Kuro said, "Look what the cat dragged in. And just in time. It was just finished. Do you know the 5 circles of hell I just went there to get here?" He growled. You know where that hole takes you? I was the one who put it there. Why do you have that thing? Funny you should ask that. I was starting to think that the thing was pretty impractical because you're the only other one person that walks into the room. And you're also one of the people dumb enough to stand over a trapdoor like that. So congratulations, here. You just made that trapdoor worth my time. And you just made my day. God damn you, little girl. So you want to ask me something? I don't think I want to ask you anymore. Oh, okay, works for me. She went back to the desk and he had turned her chair around. What the hell are you doing? He demanded. Stuff? Not this shit again. Well, nothing you said implies that you don't want me to do what I've been doing, so that only means that I can continue once you're going to finally tell me what you keep badgering me about. I'd also want you to back away from me. You're dripping slime all over the place. It's disgusting. And by the way, that's not actually slime. And you don't really want to know what that is. He almost hinted to jump on her and get her covered in with the slime, just to spite her and do it for the lulz. That's how he rolls. But that's all kinds of wrong and all kinds of awkward. If there were more than one kind, of course. And there was also some unfortunate symbolism, what with he being who he is. Just gonna leave and go do stuff on my own then. Okay, go ahead. She turned back to the desk. I'm leaving. This was turning into a challenge. I'm not stopping you. He walked to the door. I'm walking out. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Really, I don't want your slime on it. He walked to the door before leaving. A moment later, he came back in. I'm taking the stapler. And Crow shrugged. Clean it before you get it back. I won't. He walked out, and then another moment he walked back in. Damn this man. Screw it. I'm just gonna ask you. You wanna go on a date with me? He turned around to walk out. Wait, don't you want my answer? He was in the doorway at this point. No! And they walked out. I wanted to turn around and walk back in again. Okay. Sure. Awkward silence. So, what day should we do it? I don't know, Saturday? That works. He looked at the stapler in his hand. You want this thing back? I said to clean it, you fool. Saturday. Yesterday was Friday. So they walked out together. Marco stopped. Wait, where are we going? He shrugged. I don't know. Go to a movie? Never been to one. What's it like? Never been to one. He looked at her like she was crazy, despite being the one that got dragged into theaters because Yusuke decided it would be fun to do so. Yeah, he happened to have fond memories of when Yusuke Kurama Kuwabara. Man, it wasn't fun for him at all, actually. Back to reality here. You really think I'd go to one without people bothering me? What if someone's behind me and then they try to kill me with an ice pick? Why would someone kill you with an ice pick? Someone knows someone walking in with one anyway. There's better ways of doing it anyway. Like with lasers. The color drained from McCrow's face. He just figured she had some sort of ice pick phobia and decided he would find some way to comfort her. If someone has an ice pick, I'll protect you. She wasn't exactly sure whether to be a bit insulted or just accept it. That's nice of you. They arrived at the theater and sat in the back on the off chance that arrived at the theater and sat in the back, so the chance of a nice pig maniac showing up to kill them was decreased sevenfold. Also, no one would be able to watch their awkward moments together that way. The voyeurs. Either way, he would break out a can of whoop ass and use his sambo moves on the offender, and then everyone would be confused because no one knows what the heck that is. Except the Russians in the military channel. They sat in silence. He reached over and took her hand in his. She pulled her hand away. What are you doing? She asked, looking slightly offended. Holding her hand, he said simply, trying his best to act like he expected this to happen. No. Why? Because we're supposed to? Says who? The dating guidebook? No, you're just supposed to. Don't touch me. They just sat there, staring in the direction opposite of each other. He started twiddling his thumbs, and his eyes found their way into his lap. The crow started tapping her toe, anxiously glancing over at him every once in a while. At one point, he looked up and their eyes met. They quickly looked in the opposite direction again. After a few more times this happened, she finally said, Okay, fine, you can touch me. And so he took her hand again. Hearts. Don't do that. Right. He sat in silence. She noticed that one of them had sweaty hands, but she pretended this didn't matter. She started to tap her toe again. When is this supposed to start again? I don't know, 2 minutes from now? What are we watching again? It's something about piranhas with lasers. They shoot people with their lasers, and then they eat them. Why piranhas? They're badass, though. They can eat a cow in 5 minutes. It's been proven false. And what does that have to do in lasers? They're cool. You know, it's physiologically impossible for a piranha to have a laser on them. There's no way they can move with an extra weight on them. In fact, there's really no way for one to actually control one. Who's an insane scientist who came up with this one? You know, other than Stephen King while he was on the tub. The comment made him a sad face. The man really likes lasers, apparently. The crew can go on with that. That can be done. Sunshine, hearts, flowers, teddy bears. Now she was appalled. Okay, really, stop doing that. Sad face. You are impossible. Once the movie was over, they walked out. They started to wander around without much direction. McCrory finally turned to Hia and asked, "So now what? It's still daylight, so it'd be a waste to go home right away." "You think so?" he asked. She shrugged. "If you want to go back, we can. I'm just saying, it's still daylight and there's so much we could still do together. But if you really want to go..." "So, what you're saying is, what time... what time is it?" "Adventure time. And then we'll have some wacky adventure in which we haven't." Whatever that meant. The girl had a feeling it might be a device that would draw a path directly to fanfiction-inspired sex. We all know how she feels about sex, especially fanfiction sex. Or as at least most of us do. She gave him a blank look. Sure. There was a long silence. "You know, the carnival's in town if you want to go to that." She gave her a slasher smile. He was probably trying to smile, but it came out wrong. Or maybe that was his happy face. Why? The crew who had known many axe murderers and slashers throughout her life, and had once been an axe murderer herself for about 2 days. She got tired of dragging the axe around. Was not fazed at all. "I've never been to one, but I was curious to know what it's like. I heard they're the happiest places on earth." "No, McCrow, you do not want to know what it's like. I'm going to tell you a story from when I was a kid. I was 5 years old and they, whoever they are, took me to the carnival, and there was this tall guy. His name was Steve, and he had this red and yellow striped shirt. There were red clowns all around me, laughing at me, and then Steve looked down at me. He grabbed me by my arm, and he dragged me into the shadows. Just me and him and the clowns. All of them were sitting there, watching as he..." McCarl, "Say, what did he do here?" "Why? Do it." "What did he do to you here?" He looked down on me, and he drew his face over. Then he said to me, I needed my mother to ride the roller coaster because I was too small to ride alone. Don't you understand my pain?" He said, "Real, don't you understand?" When he said you can't go on a roller coaster, I've seen much worse than... Don't you realize how different my life would have been if he just let me go on that roller coaster? All the things that could have been different? Cancer would have been cured. Pluto would still be a planet. Children wouldn't cry. Hitler would have never been born. Nuclear missiles would have never been created. And people would look at Chrome and know that he's a straight man. And DeviantArt would have given you two. All because of that. You're something else, you know that? You know I should be the only one that's fully aware that I have 2 breasts. And at this point, I should be the only one aware of the inconveniences of having just one. He jumped on a soapbox. He was saving for this occasion, and he dramatically went on, completely ignoring Roosevelt's statements, a skull in his hand like Hamlet. So I have dedicated my life to destroying the roller coasters of the world and burning books in the Nazi carnivals of the world. What is it with you and Nazis? Have you ever been hugged by a bearded lady, Makuro? Have you? No, neither have you. In fact, you never even stepped foot in a carnival, in your life. I know you. He just stared at her. Well, I know you better than you know yourself. I know you better than you know yourself. Okay, if you're so smart, then tell me when I'm happiest. When you're with me. That's what he would have said if he was the hero of a Nicholas Sparks novel, thus making him 100% horseshit. Because he wasn't, he just kept quiet. So she walked away, deciding she would just want to go to the carnival alone anyway. When she noticed he was following her, she turned around and cocked a brow. I thought you said you didn't want to go, she said. But if I leave, then that means I'm going home without you. If this were a television sitcom, this would be the part when the laugh track audience goes, "Aww." This was so much so that she didn't even know what to say to that. She looked over her shoulder and sighed. Here's a real catch-22. But she just sighed as she turned back to Hiei. You know something? Let's just go home. I thought you said you wanted to go. No, let's just go home. Once they returned home into Makuro's room, he took his casual spot on Makuro's chair and she took the seat opposite to him. Just stared at each other, waiting for the other to say something, or at least break the stare. Makuro was the one to do it. So what's the next part of your book? I guess. Why you want to? 'Cause why are you asking? He asked, finding something else on the floor similarly interesting. Well, if you're going by the book, that's how it works. I'm supposed to fight it, but go along with it wholeheartedly. And then you just go for the kill regardless of what I say. You're doing it wrong. I thought you were above that kind of thing. You're doing it wrong. It was silent for a few moments. She finally got up, leaned over, thinking, oh, what the hell, and kissed him. Just a peck and nothing more. It was silent again. So, next time, same day, same time? He asked. Sure.